Guess I could loop around to where he is now and then head up through there. And then I'll slowly head towards Maine, catching them all as I go. It's a dense area, and there's no clean way to track them all down. There's gonna be some time lost no matter what. But we got it. Here on the radio finishes a wild story about the farmer who hexed young men so that they would work themselves to death for him. Hang on a second. The story we just told. I'm about to call shenanigans. I wonder if that's always the case or not. Because I'm noticing that oftentimes when one of these characters leaves me, their new bonfire is actually like on the horizon. Like right at the edge of how far you can see. Which actually would make them be like a really consistent distance away most of the time. The main downside is that other time when I was dealing with somebody who happens to live by a river. So they teleport to the other side of the river and there's no clean crossing. I'm like, ah, no, stop. I have to go all the way around now. But here on the East Coast, there are no real obstacles, only the occasional mountain that just kind of, you just walk around a little bit. It's only the tiniest obstruction with a lot of spaces in between to let you through. What do you like, Reverend? Do I get to see the true face of God?
Fine, fine. I'll tell you about Paris.
Wait, what? We're not even that far in yet? Whoops.
I was with the 369th Infantry Regiment. Maybe you heard of us by our other names. The Black Rattlers, the Men of Bronze, the Harlem Hellfighters. That was us. Fighting because we thought it might show white folk that we were Americans too. What a joke. The Army wouldn't even lead us, gave us to the French. Not the first time America traded black bodies, I suppose. Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary, just walking church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures?
Adventures, something adventurous. I mistook how far into this process he was. The dog who tracked his boy across America on an incredible journey. That's an adventure, if I ever heard one.
That's how it is, huh? Well, maybe you ain't seen as much of this world as I have.
Oh, he thought it was an inspirational story.
Freedom? A major, a Frenchman, told me all men were free, so long as we weren't chained to a wall. Thought he was raising my spirits. Next day, he gave the order for us to head to Meuse-Argonne. In a few days, we'd lost 850 freedmen. You must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen?
Okay, exciting is more straightforward than adventurous. I'm not getting any better at remembering where things are on this giant interface. Something exciting. I don't know what to call the woman with the buckets of poison. Which is still a level 1 story, I guess. I need to tell that more. Is it scary? Threatening, sure. Well, this was said to. Oh no, that's. I think this was not scary, right? It was exciting. The dust monster.
I swear I ain't heard a story good as that in a long minute. Home, if a church is God's house, a place where we should devote ourselves exclusively and wholly to praising His name, then there can be no black church in America. We're too busy trying to survive to do anything exclusively. You know any story that brings a person hope? Something I can tell to my congregation?
Hope. Well, I just used up my hope story a minute ago on you, so that's unfortunate. The lighthouse that only burns in the presence of true love. It's hard to say if that means hope at this point. Oh hey, the brothers that sought each other. I haven't told you that one yet. Perfect.
Are you sure you ain't the preacher here? That was a good one. Family? When some people go to war, their whole family's there to see them off. When I told Pops I was leaving, he whooped me till I was red. told me never to come back. I wish I hadn't. Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary. Just walking, church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures?
The adventure one again. That's a hard one. What counts as adventure specifically? I'm trying not to spend the people until stage 3 at least, is when I get desperate. The street lost in time. That's adventurous. There's a secret and mystical street. Right? Fuck.
Tearjerkers need a little more truth in them, I think.
That's a sad story? What the fuck?
The war's over, but the sadness, well, for a while, I stayed in touch with the soldiers I'd served with. But most of them, these days, they're more interested in drinking that old scrap iron now than in reminiscing. So I figure best to let them be. Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? You must have heard some good ones.
Okay, I was about to say nuclear option. Let's use somebody up, but I should have a level 3 scary story. That should be easy. I'm careful. I don't know if the demon counts as scary. I think I've used up the Jersey Devil already. Yeah, the true horror is that there's never not been a job in New York for over a month. Fuck it, Shaw, save me. You're level 3, right? I finished your storyline.
Oh, you could rattle a congregation's bones, I bet.
Damn it.
Authority, when you lose respect for someone who once held it. I left because I couldn't stand living with Pops anymore. He was the living example of a hypocrite, a liar dressed up as a saint. All that muscle was a front. He's the weakest man I ever knew. Here comes the sun. Sorry, friend, but I gotta go. My next sermon takes me up this way. If you head out there, look for me, all right? I like our talking. Wish we had time for more of it. And be careful out there, all right? The world's a cruel place, and men who live in it are cruel. And the Lord ain't stingy with the suffering.
Oh, at least he's not very far away. I can see why I didn't make a lot of progress with him before. It's because he's like, he wants the confusing genres a lot. So, and it's just kind of difficult to get his points up because he doesn't interpret things the way that you think he's gonna interpret them. And it's not quite as clear which ones are which. I thought Shaw would get him there. Does Shaw not count as level 3 story? Where is Shaw? No. Shaw just counts as an open eye story. I thought they got stronger as you finish their storylines. Maybe all the wild cards are like that. Yeah, Dupree is like that. Okay, so they're wild cards, but they don't actually get as strong as the ones that you craft your craft otherwise. They're not nearly as good as it seemed. But they do count for everything. That's helpful. I'm gonna test something here.
Here you are again. Sit down. Glad to have another person to talk with on a night like this. France is weighing heavy on me again. No, that's wrong. It ain't just France. America weighs heavy on me too. Things it did to us over there, and every day since the war ended, back here at home. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
Got something spooky? Where are the twins? Where am I keeping those? Yeah, twin toddlers.
Oh, you got me for a second with that one. Traps? I heard it from them white boys sometimes. How the trenches was a trap. They say this is the safest place for us, but we die here too. Well, some of us didn't have the luxury to complain from a bunker. Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? You must have heard some good ones.
So here's the experiment. I want to test what exit does. Leave?
Ah, night's over. Well, I've got to get walking. My journey takes me up this way. What is it the paper they gave me said? Chaplain James Coates displayed gallantry in administering to the wounded under terrific fire, exposing himself at all times to reach their sides. Fraudulent love is what that is. Yeah, they gave us a Sunday parade when we came home. But by noon on Monday, we were niggers again.
So I was right. Okay. Chapter 4. Was it always chapter 4 that they turned into a creature? Or was it chapter 3? All mixed up now. Damn. We get to see what he's gonna turn into though. But yeah, you can exit, and that means you don't have to keep spending stories if you don't want to, which with him I kinda don't want to, because I might get in trouble if I keep spending stories. Here we go. I think one of the best things I can do now is just try to remember some of the ones I've already spent on him, so I can switch them to something else. I've already told you this story. Yeah, the girls at the haunted house. Is that a scary story? Anything I can remember that I've already spent on him, I should get rid of. So I can be ready to try something else next. We've done the grave robbers, I think. Maybe. Wait, did I? That was... No, I did that on the other lady. I think I spent this, though. We can go back to Ray's Lament. That's a good one. It's neutral. Oops, oh shit, I misclicked stuff. There we go. Because I think I already spent the other one. When was it? I lost track, whatever. We're moving on. I think I've set it up. I think I just spent Shaw, right? I don't have any great ones, though. I don't know. Killers on the streets, man. That's thrilling, right? I just use the toddlers. Athena can bail me out a little bit, maybe. What's gonna happen?
Let me level with you, friend. Ain't sure there's a me no more.
This is a lot to take in. What?
I'm Baptist when I need to be Baptist. I'm Methodist when I need to be Methodist. Even been Catholic once or twice. I'm so interested in what y'all need, I can't quite put a finger on what it is I believe these days. See, I ain't a preacher, I'm a grifter. The only thing is, can't quite tell if I'm proud or ashamed of that fact. You must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen?
His true form is him in conflict with himself. The angel him and the grifter him, or the preacher him, or different versions of his... that's a lot to take in. Something exciting. Exciting. Is growing tree cats on a tree like apples? Is that exciting? Killers on the streets, goddamn. Or is that scary?
That's how it is, huh? Well, maybe you ain't seen as much of this world as I have. I spent so long playing at being an authority figure that people started actually treating me like one. Not sure I've ever lived up to that, but maybe if folks think I have, that's good enough. Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary, just walking church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures?
I'm bad at this game, apparently. Is something going on with his wings, like they're on fire, so I'm wondering if they're going for anything vaguely Icarus-y. Oh, fuck. Double input again. Oh, that's okay, I guess.
I swear I ain't heard a story good as that in a long minute. Sadness, I see them preachers on the pulpit all tears and shouting, the fear of the Lord moving them to holy grief. But my sadness is not holy. It is not otherworldly. Mine is a very material misery. I feel it in my bones and my muscles. I ache. Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? You must have heard some good ones.
A scary story. Ah, shit. What did I even... So I lost that whole category. What category are you? I don't know. What category are you? It's a haunted house, but they're just kissing. So probably not it's probably not scary. I never know about this game. This is scary. It's luring children away. Spooky.
Oh, you could rattle a congregation's bones, I bet. The past? I remember the first time I thought about being a preacher when I was 12. Pops and I were staying with a deacon in Charlotte. He was warm, genuine. Not sure I do him any favors by association. Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary. Just walking church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures?
No, it did it again. Fuck. Why is this happening?
Tearjerkers need a little more truth in them, I think. Tomorrow will be worse than today, and the tomorrow after tomorrow, too. But you string a whole mess of tomorrows together, child, and you walk forward into them, then maybe we might have a chance. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
Well, this attempt is a train wreck now. Everything's breaking and falling apart. Oh, you got any scary stories? I don't know. You tell me if this is scary or not. Let's learn.
Different folks have different senses of humor, I suppose.
It's a joke? Okay, that's good information to have. I can see it, kinda. It's weird, so I guess it's a joke.
Joy? When I was young, my faith was joyous. It brought the world into order, gave sense to even the worst injustices suffered. But these days, it's the injustices that give shape to my belief. My faith used to be a rock. Now, it's the sea. Here's the sunrise. I've got another sermon to give, and the church is a long way off. I suppose I'm taking this show on the road again. And by God, it gives me the hope I live on, and it makes me sick both at once. Don't know how to feel about it, how to think about it, but I keep going, don't I? Next, I'm headed this way. Keep yourself safe on the road, friend. Maybe we'll meet again.
I'm gonna beat it, damn it. I can't keep losing forever. Not at this rate. Come on, man. What a mess, though. You want to hear a story about a living dust storm that devours whole towns? I thought the last one was creepier, honestly. Dust storms that devour towns is just kind of true to life in the Depression, the Dust Bowl. Whereas this creepy storm that sucks the water out of your body, it's pretty horrifying to think. It's more personal and aggressive. What am I hearing? Are those like foxes or dogs or something, I think? Going at each other? Barking and yelping and whining and making noises. It's really faint. There's a T-rain over there. Not the time, though. We can do this, damn it.
You came to see me again? Well, I appreciate it. It's rough inside my head these days. I ain't sure who I am anymore. I'm a grifter, ain't I? But everything I did in Paris, here at home, all of it, I did it out of love. I did it all for real. So you tell me, who am I? Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? You must have heard some good ones.
Come on, scary. That's not necessarily scary, is it? This is too weird of a story that I'm not sure it's scary. No, I'm gonna use wild cards. I'm having too much trouble with this guy.
Oh, you could rattle a congregation's bones, I bet. Fortune, let me level with you, child. Ain't no hell bigger or hotter than the belief that all of this is for some greater good. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
You ever get the feeling this game is inspired by the dialogue wheels from Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, taken to their most ridiculous extreme, basically? It's the biggest dialogue wheel of them all.
Oh, you got me for a second with that one.
I did
Love, I swear to you, friend, however much I hate me, that is how much I love you and every other damned soul in this country. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
Okay, now we can focus on growing things at least. I think those are level 3 already. I think a lot of mine are level 3, admittedly. I think I'm getting there. Oh yeah, I was told to leave in Chattanooga. Chattanooga. Cattanooga? Catatonia?
Oh, you got me for a second with that one. I spent so long playing at being an authority figure that people started actually treating me like one. Not sure I've ever lived up to that, but maybe if folks think I have, that's good enough. Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? You must have heard some good ones.
I think I finished The Woman from Paris, right? Phrasing. I think this is only level 2. It went from a prank to a murder. There's one more level of naughty to get.
Different folks have different senses of humor, I suppose. Traps? I saw it in Pops. I saw it in the generals of Europe. I see it daily in businessmen and politicians and artists too. The self is the biggest trap there is. Don't fall in. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
Spooky. I think Johnny Appleseed might only still be level... No, that's level 3. The wine is level 2. Water that turned to wine.
I'm not sure that one moves me. Desires fulfilled? Okay, listen. I've been a dedicated deceiver for near half my life. All that lying can make it hard to keep track of priorities. There were days that I lied so that I could feel safe in my own prowess. But I promise, there were other days too. Days where every falsehood was meant to offer the deceived a little hope. Before you go, I just need you to know, at the end of the day, I am a hopeful man. It might not be the next stop on the journey or the one after that, but we are on the journey to a better America. Only thing is, I don't think I have the strength to walk much further. So walk for me, all right? Walk far.
But you don't have to worry about me not walking far, I suppose. We've got that going on at least. He's a hopeful man. On one hand, he would tell lies. If I want to get to Tennessee. I need to take the train to not Florida and not Texas. I'm very far away from everything. It's gonna take a while to get there. He thinks we're on our route to a better America. And he talks about how he's been lying all his life, but it's coin flip. Either he was lying to make himself feel good and comfortable and safe in his own thing that he's good at, or on the other end, he was lying to help people. Which isn't the worst. Yeah, take me up to Chicago. That's a good destination. So I guess this is the one where you're sneaking in and you might get attacked. Dice roll each time. You hop off the boxcar and successfully. Oh yeah. Oh, that went even further than I was hoping. Yeah. Right. Chicago's even higher up in Illinois than one of the people that I'm looking for, but that's good. We're still in the area. That's a fantastic skip. That's clear across the country for me. Thank you, game. Oh, there's the other campfire in the distance. I can see it from here. I could dig this soundtrack if I was driving. I mean, I am traveling in a way anyway.
Looks like I'm still me and you're still you. A pity, isn't it? To be stuck with ourselves like this. All this wandering, and I couldn't escape the one thing I wanted to be away from more than anything else. I suppose that in the end, we all have to settle down inside ourselves. But I don't want to be the way I am now. If I could, I'd live inside the past. Inside the time Silas and I had together. Back on the road together. Forever. Do you know any stories that will make me laugh? A tall order, I know.
Listen, dude, I like Ghost of a Tale as much as anyone, but the game's over. We gotta move on. That didn't make him laugh, I don't think. I got a number of laughy stories now. Ready for my apple tree? Bone apple tree?
That's a good one. I know I don't laugh the way I used to, but I appreciate it. Joy was the life I had with Silas on the road.
I swear to God.
I don't know what exactly made me want the simple life of a bum, but the pursuit of that felt natural to me after the problems I had had earlier in my life. Hopping on cold train cars that froze overnight, scooping out beans from a tin with our hands. All of that was pure joy. Most people go through life doing a lot of work to avoid the truth. Silas and I wanted to find the truth, to witness it with our own eyes. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
A sadness which resonates. Oh yeah, this is... Didn't this turn out to be a sad story? The weird missing tree? Missing street? Lost in time.
The tragedy in that story, it's real. Have you ever tried writing poetry? That was some trip. I was certainly sad when it was over. It's an odd thing to have such a memorable and storied time, and then, in retrospect, you wonder if it really happened. All of that, just gone. You could have dreamt it all. You don't have to let that bring you down, though. It's enough for something to exist in the past, and for that to have been good. It's melancholy as hell, sure. But what isn't in this life? I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of any like that?
An optimistic story. The lighthouse lamp that only burns in the presence of true love. It used to be optimistic. Did it change?
That's a good one.
Okay.
We do reach up like that, towards hope. The past, well, the things I hoped for back then never really came to be. The novel Silas was working on was going to be a great, long epic that would show us this country in all of its grandness and its squalor, its beauty and its profound ugliness. A portrait of a nation transforming, convulsed with want, buckling as it fought itself. He never shared any of it with me, though. He wanted to keep that close to him, called that very private. Alone, out here, I spend too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me a hopeful story to lighten my mood?
Another hopeful story. I usually got a couple of those lying around. Until I don't. Shit. Did I already tell him about my kiss? Where's my kiss? Where's... Oh, it must have been one of the categories I used up. Got my Thunderbirds. I mean, that woman with the poison was hoping to poison someone, so that's pretty hopeful. A story of the saint wandered the land, pulling lost souls in to be saved. That's pretty hopeful, right?
I like that one. Makes me feel the way Silas used to in the old days. Faith often comes as a variety of hope. Hope for yourself. There's some kind of magic that happens when you're with someone who makes you feel like the person you want to be. In my old life, I never had the chance to talk about life, the point of things, what I'm supposed to be doing here. If I ever ventured it, people called me a freak or worse. Now in comes this man Silas, who is built of these thoughts. You can see how I believed he was sent from the heavens just for me. Alone, out here, I spend too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me a hopeful story to lighten my mood?
Oh, we're still doing this. Let's back out before I spend too many things.
It was a hell of a time, that trip I took with Silas. Train hopping, hitchhiking, walking, whatever we could do to get across the country. We talked to everyone, bums and hobos, machinists and librarians, waitresses and cops. We wanted them to show us who they were. Now it's gone, done, in the past. But that's not something I should be mourning, is it? It's something I should be celebrating. My next walk takes me up the road this way. Where does your road take you?
Cassidy's verse. Alright. Chapter 4, it's right over there. Nice and close, at least. He absolutely is that guy who won't stop talking about his ex, and you're just like, alright, yep. There's no crossing here. Help. You little shit, come back here. That's why I never got that story over there, is because it's across this damn, Help. Wait, you don't even take me across, do you? Haven't we done this before? And oh, this time it let me across. I thought it previously wouldn't let me go across the... Oh no, how far is he gonna take me? Stop. Please, stop. Yeah, Cedar Rapids would be a great place to stop. Please let me out. Sir, this isn't how hitchhiking works. Let me out. The risk is, besides the health risk, is supposed to be, oh no, I didn't go as far as I wanted to, not, oh god, he's taking me. He's not doing anything dangerous or scary, it's just he just is intentionally taking me past my destination for some reason. Well, there's stuff here, so that works out. Because I had to go around last time, I think. Telling the story about the gunfire that fills the street of Chicago all day and night. Damn, Chicago's a real mess. That's maybe not even wrong.
She's getting married, the soldier tells you. The two of you observe the church from the dusty road, straining to hear the faint joy of the ceremony transpiring within. I fought for 10 years to come home because she said she'd be here, waiting for me. And look, can you believe it?
Yes?
So what am I supposed to do? What does she expect? That I should throw myself from the nearest cliff? Walk into the ocean? He snorts, sets off down the road.
Wait behind.
You wait a while. Eventually, the bride emerges from the church, alone, and looks out over the cornfield. When she sees you, and only you, her posture falls in a full-body sigh. She picks up the hem of her dress and goes back inside.
Oh, she came out to look for you.